Speaking of things being secondary, a little bit of vindication for me. This is coming from Games Radar. Pokemon Legends ZA's visuals aren't great, says former Nintendo marketing leads, but hope Switch 2 could allow Game Freak to go back to the drawing board and add more detail to future RPGs. And that pretty much kind of what it says on the tin type deal.
Yeah.
And this kind of gets into the rant that I went down when we were watching the trailer. Was that last week? 2 weeks ago?
I think it was last week, yeah.
Was it last week? Okay. Yeah. Pokemon Legends ZA looks good for Game Freak. And the problem with that is that you need that qualifier, that for Game Freak qualifier, because as a game standing against the rest of the landscape, it looks kind of fucking terrible. Like,
it was a little rough.
And for a game in a series that is the most profitable franchise on the face of the planet, it should be one of the most highly polished things like to come out on any console. And I get it. The Switch is a weaker version of a console compared to like I'm not expecting PC quality out of the thing, but I'm expecting more than what we've been getting out of Pokemon.
It doesn't need to be Horizon Zero Dawn, but it should be. It shouldn't look like it just got ported off the DS.
Right. Exactly. And like that's what we're getting out of Game Freak. And it's like I need more. I need more out of y'all, Game Freak. And the hope that the Switch 2 could allow them to go back to the drawing board. I get that. Like I get that idea, but I don't think it's the Switch 2 or excuse me, I don't think it's more powerful hardware that's the problem. Like we have a more powerful hardware and we are still winding up with something that's subpar.
Yeah, like people are making games for the Switch 1
that look better than things that Pokemon is putting out.
Right.
Game Freak could make a PC game and it would look like...
And it would probably still look like this.
It just seems like, I don't know, they need to do something to enhance their, asset creation pipeline.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to start making significant changes, though, until they see something wrong with the cash flow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. At the end of the day, their bottom line is well secured. And they're not going to have to make a change about that unless you get to give them credit. They have been making changes, albeit incredibly slowly and very behind the curve, but they are making changes. It's just, it would be really nice to see them modernize and take a very concerted effort to modernize and revamp the series. Even if they wanted to keep certain aspects, like I don't hate the art style. Like I don't mind the art style is the way they kind of present their creatures and their stuff like this. It's just like you could afford to add some more detail. You can do some more optimization. There's so many better techniques you can use to keep this art style. Like
it's literally everything besides the Pokemon. Like the buildings. Like I don't know, bro.
Those buildings don't need to be chamfered boxes like they are right now.
Why are those windows flat and with the little sills for the flowers, or is that a balcony? I can't tell.
Better question. Why is there just images of Pokeballs in the window?
It's not even reflective. It's just like blue.
Yeah. Like they're avoiding using reflections at all costs. It's like, I need y'all to just get with the fucking program and learn how to use this environment to the, like, fucking Mario is not the most realistic looking thing on the goddamn planet, right? But the world looks fucking amazing. Like it looks so good and it's doing so much within its bounds. And that no one's asking for you to make this shit look like Call of Duty or Battlefield or like the most AAA like bullshit ever. I don't think anybody would actually want that cares about the Pokemon series.
Because there's people
people that want that, but they just want guns on everything, and I don't listen to those people.
They want Pal World.
They want Pal World, right? It's like, I don't want this to be like every other AAA slot, but I want this to show the profitability that this company has. Like, I want this to reflect being the most profitable franchise on the face of the planet. I don't care that the profit might come from things that are not the game. At the end of the day, Game Freak is still making the fucking profit. Yeah. And it's all built off the back of your games that you're still releasing.
Well, you would hope that, the experience and the polish and the quality of what they would produce would reflect the resources that they have access to.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't feel like that is going on.
Yeah. And it's like,
feel like the resources that they need access to is updated processes.
Yeah.
And that's
CNG
pretty much what it comes down to. It's they need updated processes, they need consulting, they need a revamp on the team so that
A college graduate.
yeah. Like they just need someone who can understand and guide them through this process and to take a concerted effort to really start using the technology that they're using to its limits and not.
Does it actually look? But yes, it does.
Yeah.
Not that title. Power World has revealed what Pokemon games should be capable of.
Which itself is not a great benchmark.
Power really is not. Power is really ugly.
Power World looks better in screenshots. It does not run. It did not run as great as it should. Like
The lack of a cohesive design language in Power pissed me off so much.
yeah.
Kind of like, not exactly, but like thinking of like Wind Waker.
Yeah.
It's not like crazy,
No,
like
it's
high
not.
quality, super detailed, but the art direction
But
and
it's
the
so charming.
cohesiveness and like the
Right.
lighting and the color and everything is like,
It knew what it wanted to be for
Yeah.
for real.
And it's crazy because Game Freak is essentially it may as well be it's an in-house second party. It's a second party for Nintendo, but it may as well be a first party at this point. Like for Nintendo, it's crazy that they're working under Nintendo, which is known for creating stylized games that work really well within their fucking limits, and I can stand the test of time. And Game Freak, probably one of the biggest draws for Nintendo. I don't know if it's because they're not making use of any Nintendo connection that they might have. I don't know if Nintendo has ever tried to go step in and do anything, or like you said, if the fact that the bottom line is secured, they're just not going to fuck with it.
They could also be
anymore than
learning
they
the
have
wrong
to.
lessons for the right people. You know what I mean?
Explain.
So, like for instance, the if you take a look at I was talking to one of my coworkers today about Nintendo processes for the game development stuff because we're having some issues with the lighting at work. And he was like, "Yeah, like most Nintendo games just don't have lighting."
Yeah.
He's like, they paint everything, right? They take the cost they might be need to put into like an engine, and they put it into their artists, and that saves them on performance, and it makes it a really good looking game.
That makes sense.
And
I never really thought about that.
If that's the consultation they're getting from Nintendo, but then they're not just delivering on like a cohesive vision, or they're not spending their poly budget where they should be spending it, or they're missing like details that gives us like this like really well painted facade, but it doesn't actually feel cohesive with the world or connect with the Pokemon. I mean, they could be taking the wrong lessons from those.
Okay.
Those
Yeah.
things.
No. 100%. Like it could absolutely be that. I would love to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
With any intercompany talks between Nintendo and Game Freak to just see kind of like, honestly, I'd love to be a fly on the wall just in their design processes to see just kind of how they're approaching this. Because this also doubles in with the, I believe I talked about it last week. If I did not, there's an article from, I talked about this where the president or one of the directors or something like that was talking about how they want to keep pushing the Pokemon series forward, and they're constantly striving to do that. And it's like, it doesn't feel like you are. It doesn't feel like you are. And it seems like because this is the thing people complain about every time is like, yes, am I going to have fun with the game? Of course I am. I'm going to have fun with this Pokemon game. But you should still want to strive. Like you can have, it's crazy to me that it's like, well, the bottom line is secured, and therefore we're not going to push the envelope because we don't have to. When it's like, you're a company, y'all are about making more money and making a profit, right? Do you realize how much more of a profit you can make?
You could do something so cool, but you choose not to.
But you're choosing not to because like you're doing a good enough, which is a crazy thing for me to be saying when I want more companies to have a good enough ethos. For like, but it's I guess it's not so much I want a good enough ethos, is that I want them putting their resources into certain aspects. Your game should be fun before it looks good, and then once your game is fun, then you make it look good. And you shouldn't be cutting your corners in certain areas for other factors, or because like I don't see a good reason why you're cutting corners in the visuals department.
well, is that
Like sex and marriage.
Not gonna elaborate, nor if you get it, you get it.
I think it's probably just a bunch of.
One married motherfucker in here.
It's okay. He'll get it after 20 years.
He'll get it. He'll get there. What do you say?
It's probably the thing we talked about before, where it's just a bunch of artists with tenure that don't need to leave.
They'll have to leave and just get to stick around.
Who got that pipeline for, DS and the old days, like ingrained in their brains, and it's like
that's just how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how we
You
do it.
make a box, you paint the windows on.
And then it prints a fuck ton of money. And so
ship it.
ship it. Oh, the duality of Pokemon. But it's nice to see one of the Nintendo marketing leads say the same thing. Yeah. Like kind of same thing that I was saying of like
ex-marketing leads.
Ex-marketing lead, right? We're seeing this from a top level of like, you're going to be profitable, but man, y'all could look so much better. Mm-hmm. And the more powerful console will let them make something that looks better, but I don't think it's going to be up to standard the way it should be. But maybe every day they're putting new people. I'm sure people are like, there are movements within the Game Freak company that new people are taking management positions and director positions. And I'm sure at some point as people start to, as the old guard and the executive team probably starts to
die off.
I was going to try to say like file out or something.
Phase out of the
they start
company.
phasing out of the company and we start moving them out and we're getting new talent in. I'm still hoping that at some point we start getting more like concerted pushes to go like, is this working? Yes, we can make this work even better. And we could, it's just polish. Like people just want more polish on the Pokemon series. Mm-hmm. Like we just want the games to look like they're modern fucking games. And that's pretty much it. Like we are not asking for y'all to reinvent the wheel and be like the cutting edge of visuals or anything. We just want it to look like a game that's on a modern console. Pretty. We just want it to be pretty. That's it.
See, it's like I really am curious, like what the reason is for why they went that direction. Because it's like if it's like it's open world and we want everything to be explored, and it's like, well, you can cull certain things certain ways so that you don't have to load the whole world every frame or something.
Like they sort of do it. Like you see them trying to do it.
It's really not smooth. The amount of times I've seen boulders turn into triangles.
Yeah.
Because the character walks like 2 steps.
It's like their implementation of it is based on hearing about the idea of LODs and camera frame culling and like that kind of stuff. And they've never like really you gave them a description of how these things should work, and they're working solely off those descriptions and not like ever going to look up how it's actually being implemented in other games. Mm-hmm. Like it feels a lot like Game Freak is just incredibly insular and is getting kind of trickle fed ideas of modern game techniques, but never like taking the step to go out and study them and start really implementing stuff from other places into this. But that's pure conjecture. Obviously, I don't know what the fuck goes on inside of the Game Freak development teams and how this stuff goes, but that's what as a game developer, that's what it feels like. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much all it goes. So we'll see. Hopefully there continues to be more buzz and more kind of wording from this coming from on high, from more like top level and higher level leads and directors and stuff like weighing in and going like, hey, I think y'all can look a little bit better, but don't let me stop you, but I just think y'all can do a little bit better. But we'll see.
But we got the bag. we got the bag.
Unfortunately, that's a real strong argument. Like what sucks is that's a real good argument.
It's like, yeah, you're right, but like
it's like, hey bro, like if you just like combed your hair, you'd probably look a little bit better, but I still fuck though. So
like we got a solid B. Why try to go for an A when a B is definitely adequate?
The B got me the scholarship, so I don't know what you want from me. Like shit, you're right. You gotta want it for yourself though, man. But yeah. that's the part that kind of I realize that's the part that sucks about it, is that there was a lot of times where it's like especially back in high school, like old friends of mine that were like you could treat girls a little better than what you already are, but it's like, but you were handsome enough and they let you fuck.
He
And
still gets
what
the
the
pussy,
fuck?
so,
What
like-
the fuck can I say?
Yeah.
It's like y'all say y'all want him to be better and y'all want me to talk to him about being better, but when I talk to him about being better, he's like, I get the girls I want anyway. And I'm like, well, that's a real strong argument. Like, I don't know what else I can say to that. But, oh shit.